Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. Salute to each and every one of you. First off, give a shout out to the WCS supporters, man, who tune into the channel. Much appreciated. One love each and every day. You check out your boy. Also to the ones that got up this morning and have employment, providing for yourself and family. It's important. Your kids, everybody. You know, hopefully everything goes well in your work day this morning, man. You got to look out for the everyday workers that's out here grinding. You know, that goes for everybody. That goes for athletes, to freaking corporate, blue collar, or whatever the case may be. So getting right down to it, man, it is absolutely getting closer to what we've been waiting for, the end of the year drama. You know what I'm saying? We just finished with the sweepstakes between Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, lightweight sweepstakes. That's exactly what that was. Unfortunately, the sweepstakes didn't go in favor of the fighter who was expected to win it all and retain his titles. The upset was in. We seen them play out in front of us. And boxing is not going to stop. It's not the first. It's not the last. But what we must understand is this. We have Gervonta Davis, who is fighting Isaac Cruz. In the U.S., it's Isaac Cruz. So we all know Isaac Cruz, man, is a last-minute replacement for Rolly Romero, who had allegedly some allegations pending against him, which took him out the fight. Now, for me, I'm looking at it like he's still in the same spot he was without the promo. You know, he did one press and then he was out. So what happened? Why they do Rolly like that? You know, he ain't locked up, no mugshot. You ain't heard shit else from it, man. Something else is deeper than what we all know out here in the streets, looking in. So let's look at this for a second. Gervonta Davis taking on a last-minute replacement. He's a Mexican fighter. But let me first get to Gervonta Davis. Baltimore's own, man. Tank Davis is 27 now, 25 victories, 0 defeats, 24 coming by way of KO. Yeah, you heard it right. 24 of those wins coming by way of KO. And he's registering a 96% knockout ratio. Dude, Mr. El Chin Checker, Gervonta Davis, is set to defend against his opponent, Isaac Cruz, who has 22 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw. 15 of those wins by way of knockout. And he's 23 years old. So, you know, he's a little bit younger. And his knockout percentage is 62.5. So if you're looking at Isaac's last 5 fights, right? He's 1-4 in stoppages. 1-4. I repeat, PSA, 1-4. So when I'm having these conversations with you all, please stop saying that Tank, he better watch out for Isak Cruz and all that. Look, Isak is what he say he is. Isak is a pit bull. He's what he say he is. He has this forward fighting style that's very aggressive. It gives you a flash of a fighter that they enjoy using all the time, like Mike Tyson. And he gives you that on slot. You know what I'm saying? That war mentality, that chaos mentality. Isak Cruz gives you the pit bull mentality. He does. And a pit bull is known for its what? Bite. A pit bull is known for its what? Bite. Isak Cruz has the bite. But in combat, I'm going to be honest with you. We're not biting a motherfucking thing. But we got some tanks that's blowing up shit. I'm telling you, bro. This is a better fight than people giving it credit for. Like Mario Barrios is much taller, much bigger, everything. Isak Cruz, he has the reputation of bringing that pit bull mentality, all that aggression, right? But his last 5 fights, he's 1-4 when it comes to stopping his opponents. I mean, he has some unanimous decisions, majority decision, one majority decision, and 1 KO stoppage. And that's when he went in there against Diego Magdaleno back in October 2020 up in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. And then his next 2 fights after that, they went the distance. Now, the crazy part about this is he's going in there against a tank, shouty. Isak Cruz, no doubt, like I said, he has the bite to represent his alias, man. You know what I'm saying? His tag. He has that shit. He brings the bite to the fight. That's what Pitbull does, shouty. I've seen it. Pitbull is no fucking joke. But when you step in there with the tank, dog, you have to know the amount of danger that awaits you before you even get within proximity. A tank is lethal. A tank deals with ammunition. A tank deals with a perimeter. A tank is solid. The entire structure of a tank is solid. Most of the time you disable a tank is when you have another tank. You know what I'm saying? And then in the boxing world, if we're using metaphors, we just have to see who the better damn driver is. Who can do it better? But in this case, I've never seen a pit bull win versus a tank. You place a pit bull out there in the combat zone, that bitch getting ran the fuck over. And then if we got time on our hands, we just got damn fire from a distance and blow that shit up. We don't have to get close. Motherfucking pit bull barking. And then you see that motherfucking that damn long range barrel start to move over. They lining your ass up. It's over. If the pit bull is still moving, it's missing half his body already. So of course, if we got some ammo, do we have some ammo left? I mean, shit, we about to head back to the rear. Do we have some more ammo? Okay, we ain't gonna leave him out there like this. We ain't gonna leave him out there like that. We don't have to use no more ammo, really. But what you want to do? You want to leave a massacre, or you just want to drive forward and run him over? If it's Gervonta Davis, he's gonna do both in one. He's gonna drive forward and leave a massacre behind. Isak Cruz is absolutely that type of opponent with that type of style to get massacred by Gervonta. He's that dude. I don't know why when it comes to these guys, man, with these aliens and they Mexican fighters, right? People's like, oh, well, I don't know. You know, you saw what he did to Diego. But did you see what his next two opponents got? They went the decision with him. And he pushed the pace and he came forward. And those opponents he faced was nowhere close to Tank Davis. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good, Andrew? Appreciate you pulling up first on deck in the morning on this Thursday. Salute to you, bro. So, Gervonta Davis is undefeated, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. And him fighting Isaac Cruz is very important than people giving it credit for. Very, very important. The reason why it's important because the sweepstakes favorite going into this previous fight against Kambosos failed to get the job done. So now we have a triangle, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? As I advocated for Devin Haney to get his shot, you have to totally understand that Gervonta Davis is out here too. And I'm looking over Isaac Cruz because I don't think he has enough to go in there and defeat Gervonta. But what I do look at is that Gervonta is in a position where he can show us, the boxing fans, how special he is as a fighter again. He can show us again how special he is as a fighter. Gervonta still holds down real estate at lightweight division. Gervonta has given us a knockout before and before and before. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand he has given us what we wanted from him. You know what I'm saying? You can go in there and talk all the shit you want. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you, the last time Gervonta Davis went to a decision was back in 2014, Shawty. 2014. And he was only fighting 6 rounders back then. Gervonta Davis has proven that he can get knockouts in the later rounds, man. He proved that against Gamboa as of recent, and he proved it against Mario Barrios. So Isaac Cruz has to understand. His team has to tell him a solid game plan for someone like a Tank, dog. When Tank takes breaks in between, like sometimes he takes breaks and allow his opponent to get off. That's all about learning the game, because when he fought Gamboa, you know, it was more than a couple of rounds that you visibly seen him taking breaks. But with Isaac Cruz, with his gas tank, I think when Tank take his breaks, he's gonna have to take advantage of it. But even when taking a break, Tank is still vigilant, alert, and dangerous, bro. So if Isaac Cruz want to push forward and get within Tank's personal space, just like he did Magnolino, I'm telling you, when Tank, if you think they haven't talked about this shit, when Tank takes his break, Isaac is going to be right up there trying to take advantage of it. The issue that I have with Cruz attempting to do that is how is his resilience and durability going to stand up once Tank catches him with a counter shot? I mean, what percentage of his durability, his strength is going to sustain if he chooses to fight close quarters against Tank when he's taking a break and he comes in and try to do the same shit everybody else try to do? They try to get in close and bang it out with Tank on the inside. Will Isaac Cruz be able to take full advantage of that, dog? Being that he's not a knockout artist. Like, Isak Cruz does not have the knockout ability of a Gervonta Davis. But listen, we all know that a knockout puncher, that doesn't have anything to do with your chin, though. A person who has power can be hit too. And the person that they're in there contending against doesn't have to have a lot of knockout power. It's just they have to have enough to break that opponent down that has knockout power. It's not like the power from their fist generates up to their chin and jawline, and the two work as one unit. There's no command center going on here. You know what I'm saying? So does Isak has a window of opportunity to hurt Tank? I don't know. It all depends, man. Like when I say hurt, I'm not saying knockout. You know, if I would have said knockout, I would have said knockout. But does he have an opportunity to hurt Tank? I myself, with the work rate that Cruz put in on the inside, I'm gonna be curious to see how that plays out in live TV. You know what I'm saying? In HD. I want to see, can Cruz apply that type of pressure that he put on Magdaleno in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes Tank, he'll set in the corner a little bit, but he's always thinking. He's so damn methodical. He's always setting traps. Isak Cruz come in there and put his head down and bang, bang, bang. He might wake up to the referee. He might wake up to the end of the damn post-fight serenade when the referee's goddamn waving in front of you. Because that's what I seen when I was watching that fight with him and Magdaleno close, and I seen how he was just digging to the body, and his focus was just boom right down the body. With Tank, he has the ability in between shots. He has decent, very respectable defense to shoot an uppercut or a hook, and you can best believe when he sends that hook on Isak Cruz on the inside, he's pivoting out. He ain't going nowhere. And when you turn around, Tank gonna have something else. Now you got to be prepared for his 8 to 10 to 12 punch combination that he's gonna get off on you. Tank's a monster, man. It's just unfortunate that people believe that just because how Gervonta is moving with Floyd Mayweather, they don't want to put him in the top 3 in the lightweight division. But when it comes down to it, Gervonta Davis is top 2 in the lightweight division. Hands down, point blank, period. If he would have fought for another title up there, I'd put him at 1. You know what I'm saying? But Gervonta Davis is top 2 in the lightweight division. Hands down, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. Tank's a fucking monster, dog. And him beating Isak Cruz this weekend was set up for an interesting dilemma. Okay? Devin Haney defeating Jojo Diaz sets it all up for an interesting dilemma. Because like I said yesterday, Kambosos has joined this club of the untruthful. Kambosos told his audience one thing, and then he came out here chopping it up about something else. So both of these guys win. What's going to happen? What are we going to see? I know Eddie Hearn is putting this shit out here. Devin Haney willing to go to Australia for $80,000. Devin Haney willing to go to Australia for $80,000. Devin Haney willing to go to Australia for 80,000, fans. You know what I'm saying? So what is Kambosos willing to do for Gervonta Davis, though? Do he look at the threat, you know what I'm saying, the threat level, and say, it'll be better to go over here for Devin Haney, who's not as a harder puncher than Gervonta Davis? Or do I step up and fight a 3-division world champion, Mayweather Promotions, and I don't get as much real estate with negotiations that I would with Devin Haney? because people are not going to start talking that A side, B side when it comes to Kambosos just for him picking up the belts from Tio. And that shit ain't going to work with Gervonta. So Team Kambosos really have a decision to make here. If both of these guys win, who do you want? Who's more valuable to your career moving forward? What is your expectations holding these belts? How long you plan on holding them? Are you willing to fight a killer next time? Another killer. You defeated Teofimo Lopez. So are you considering Devin Haney or are you considering Gervonta Davis? Anybody believing that Kambosos has a shot at going in here, delivering the same performance with Gervonta Davis that he did with Teofimo Lopez, you're absolutely out of your mind. You're out of your mind. If you believe that Kambosos has the opportunity to reciprocate the same performance that he had with Teofimo Lopez with Devin Haney, you're out of your mind. So he has a fork in the road. He has like that wishbone effect going on. He doesn't have an easy decision if he chooses to step up to the plate and fight either one of these guys. He has a tough decision. Gervonta Davis is the most dangerous one of them all because Gervonta Davis, one thing about Davis, Tank, he invites the motherfucking mayhem. He invites that shit. He will allow you to get off on him all alone. He's just there absorbing that shit. He's getting energized off that shit. It's almost like injecting somebody with damn energy while they're in the art of war. Like you're basically injecting them with shit so they can come back even stronger. Like Gervonta really soaks in what his opponent is giving him. So when he takes that break or when the opponent is able to get off on Tank, when you stop punching, that's when it's hellfire for your ass. That Tank be raining down hellfire. I've seen him unleash 8, 10, 12 punch combinations. And that shit is brutal. I've seen him set traps, set up counters. And he do it just like a savage, dog. He sets that shit up just like a savage. Just when you think you're really getting to the core of Tank and breaking him down in the ring, he changes it up quick, dog. So what's the decision? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to seeing Devin Haney, JoJo, and Gervonta Cruz. But at the end of the day, the bigger picture for the lightweight division is the fans want to see clarity. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to wipe down the window now. They have some Windex with ammonia in that bitch. They're trying to wipe down the window to see who is the king of the lightweight division. Who is the king of the lightweight division? I can put this scenario out there for Gervonta Davis, like they sit back and let the work play out. And then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere and they put their name. They don't put it in the hat. They put it on the table. Mayweather don't really put his name in nobody's hat. Like they do their own fucking thing. Like no one really knows what's going on with Tank until they make that move. That we know. Now, I don't know how long he's going to be remaining with Mayweather when it comes 22, how long is left on his contract, but I can tell you this. They're not putting their name in a hat with anything. They're putting shit on the table. So Kambosos is really going to have to figure out, is he going to turn his back like he's been doing with this undisputed shit on Devin Haney? If Devin Haney wins, are you going to turn your back on him? Or are you going to give him a shot to determine if you're truly the top guy in the lightweight division? That's something he has to figure out. That's a huge decision. That's a weight, a burden on Kambosos right now. Because the fight fans are dying down already. You have people that jumped on the Kambosos motherfucking one-wheel tricycle, and they're riding that bitch on gravel. Kambosos, I'm glad you beat that fight. I ain't like T.O. anyway. Kambosos, Cambosis. What you gonna do? Hey, Cambosis saying he undisputed. Well, we'll figure that later. Cambosis. But he was saying he didn't respect that shit before the fight. But now his team and himself and WBC saying he undisputed. I know, man, but Mauricio, man, that's just how he is. Cambosis. You know what I'm saying? These fair weather goddamn fans, boy, they supporting the shit out of Cambosis. But what's going to be very, very interesting is if Cambosis decide to fight Haney. He's going to find out how many fans he don't have. Devin Haney is going to find out how many fans actually support him going in there against the Cambosis. Cambosis is soaking up the U.S. grid right now because that's how it is over here. Like people just take one breath, they inhale and they say, oh man, everything is good, man. Whew, I'm feeling good. That's how they do. And then they get disinterested, bored. And when the fight is made, if the fight is made, most of the fanfare, you would think, would go in favor of Devin Haney because Devin Haney doesn't have the footprint or the square of hate when it comes to Deontay Wilder, Bud Crawford, and those guys. When it comes to Devin Haney, most people, want to see what he has going on, but they just haven't committed to supporting him because there's so many other names in the lightweight division that they were saying that he was, he wasn't better than he has to do more. His resume isn't there yet. So now Teofimo Lopez, the nemesis of Devin Haney, no longer has the titles, and Devin Haney called him a fraud. Devin Haney should have the bigger fan base. They should have more U.S. fans supporting Haney off the rip if he's going in there against Cambosis, even in Cambosis' hometown. For Gervonta Davis, his fans are everywhere. Like, it's totally two different sheets of paper when you're writing down the pluses or minuses of boxing. It's two different fan bases when it comes to Gervonta on why they support him. You have the people that support him because he has power. He has the people that support him because he's entertaining. But yet, on the con side of that, they're looking at who he's been fighting, who he hasn't fought, who he's with, Floyd Mayweather. Whole different type of list of bullets comparable to Devin Haney, dog. YME in the building. What's good? He's on deck. Devin Blocker on deck. Salute to you. J.A. Dixon on deck. Salute, bro. So the lightweight division, once again, elevates itself higher than any other division right now. The lightweight division is at the top of the tier as far as notoriety and anticipation. The lightweight division is way more anticipation in the lightweight division than the 154-pound division or the welterweight division, because the belts are damn near right next to each other. Cambosis has majority of the belts from the WBC to the WBO, and Devin has his world title. So it's a more close-knit consolidation process. It's a lot less paperwork to do. You just have to damn make the decision, Cambosis, on whether you want to give Devin Haney the shot. Because I don't like sitting up here saying, he's acting bitch made. I don't do that. But I will say this, that you're basically, outside of having a solid performance with Tio, you are truly acting like you're stained on the other side of that cloth. You know, like certain individuals, certain genders, what they have once a month. You know what I'm saying? When they have to change out that garment, that undergarment, because they have this once a month type of deal going on, where they might be spotting. You sending those vibes to me, Cambosis, because you sit up here and criticize Tio, but yet you proclaim that you're the undisputed titleist. Now, if I said Tio's undisputed, I'm saying you undisputed, but yet the reason why I'm holding you accountable for what you're doing is because you was criticizing Tio as not being undisputed. Now, not only are you saying that you're undisputed, you're criticizing Devin Haney for not having enough credential in his ownership for you to consider facing him. You up here making excuses already. Y'all want to bring in Gmail Yahoo. That shit is old now after he defended his belt. It seems like y'all trying to make excuses as to why you may not want to step in the ring with him. But of course, like I said, today, tomorrow, we're going to see the videos is out. We have media out there. We have media. There's plenty of media out there. I want to see the videos. If I don't see a single fucking video with Cambosis' face on it, he should be in Vegas already, unless he's coming in Friday. If his team has any sense, they would have sent Cambosis out there today to soak in all the media before it gets to the point of weigh-in day. Either way, both today and tomorrow is going to be full speed. So I want to hear Cambosis and what he has to say if Devin Haney go ahead and defeats Jojo Diaz. Because I haven't heard him mention Gervonta's name, though. That's a very dangerous fight. So what the people are driving home right now, since Tio's out the picture, is what I just said. But my frustration, and believe me, it's not something that's really causing me to, sweat and bite my motherfucking fingernails and shit like that, is the fact that these boxers continue to puppetize the motherfucking media. They'll say one thing to appease the media, and so they can talk about them and give them free promo. And then they turn around and they put shit on their IG after they criticize Teofimo Lopez that they're undisputed. And then they go talking some different talk. If you want to big up Devin Haney and you want us to pay for the fight or whatever's going to happen, then you need to say, hey, he's a worthy opponent. He's defending his title. He's the next top fighter in line. Let's get it. Don't have your team out here talking shit about Yahoo and Gmail, because no one really gave a fuck about Cambosis until there was a hiatus and 3 delays with Teofimo Lopez. Your name was attached to Teofimo Lopez. Down here in the ATL, no one knew who the fuck Cambosis was. They just know it was a dude that was highly irritated and upset at Tio. That's all they do. They link you up to Tio. They didn't know who the fuck you were. They didn't know who you were just off fighting Mickey Bay. Man, don't sit up here and just give this dude free reign of support and he ain't did shit. Like the difference between what he was able to do against Tio and what Tio did against Lomas, absolutely two different values. You got to hold two different values, because Lomachenko was high on the pound for pound list. Tio was sitting at 6, 7. He was sitting at number 7 on Ring. He was on there because he beat Lomachenko. Cambosis, where was he even at? Was he anywhere close? Cambosis defeated him, but are they going to put him on the pound for pound list? Because prior to Teofimo Lopez, guess what? He didn't have a Richard Comey, and he didn't have a Masayoshi Nakatani. I'm just putting that out there. That wasn't the case. U.S. boxing fans, we got to do better in looking out for this case. Like I said before, hold Kambosos accountable. Give him the same, furious energy that you gave Tio for saying he was undisputed. Identify all the outlets that wasn't recognizing Tio as undisputed, and then wonder why the WBC is all of a sudden saying they talked to Devin Haney and he understands now. See, that's something that would never sit right. Like this situation right here of confusion, it was spinning itself way before Teofimo lost the belts. Why all of a sudden you send the tweet and say Kambosos is motherfucking undisputed and Devin understands? What the fuck are we missing? Like, what does Devin understand all of a sudden? Because him and his pops, Bill, was still fighting. You know what I'm saying? They was fighting for people. They was fighting for that recognition and that identity because they're holding the coveted WBC belt. They wasn't trying to hear that shit before T.O. lost, and they definitely weren't trying to hear the shit, from my assumption, after he lost the belts. Now, the transfer of titles still has Devin right there as to what is Mauricio talking about. Devin's understand now. Man, y'all cannot allow that shit to get this wander around like you stupid and ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a damn, like you're a functional illiterate. You're not. We're smart enough to understand. You can't sit up here and say, "Oh, I'm just gonna accept it. It's coming from Mauricio." What does Devin understand now? I just don't get it, bro. And then Javante's over here. He haven't even gave any damn attention. Really. The only time I would say Javante gave attention to the lightweight division, anybody in the lightweight division, was Ryan Garcia when he was asking the interview. And he said, yeah, he has a country behind him. And no, that's not true. But he has followers and this, that. Okay. All right. We want to go off artificial intelligence and we want to go off the millions of followers, Ryan Garcia. Okay, cool. So that's the only attention I seen Javante Davis get to the lightweight division. Now he has the opportunity to go in there and fight Kambosos, and people will tune in. Even though Kambosos is still nobody special, he just holds the belts right now. People will see Javante and Kambosos. The reason being is that he's getting knocked the fuck out. If Teofimo Lopez dropped Kambosos and he wasn't even 100%, as much as y'all don't want to recognize it, he wasn't 100%. But let's just say he knocked Kambosos down, and Teofimo Lopez don't have Javante Tank Davis punching power. What do you think Tank's gonna do to him? You think Kambosos is gonna sit back and try to be a counter puncher and land the overhand right? Seriously? Like you think that shit is gonna do some damage to Tank? Man, come on, dog. I really want to see both fights. It would be great if they can happen in recession. All right. This is how I would like it to play out. If Devin Haney can get his shot, boom, he beats Kambosos, and then Devin Haney fights Javante Davis. That's how I would like to see it play out. But I know it's not going to happen because I'm really unsure of how long Haney is going to be at 135 before he moves up to 40. If he has any opportunity to win those belts from Kambosos, I will vacate and move up to 140, right? But if they plan on getting another big check at 135 as the damn undisputed champion, why not? Once again, I'm telling you, the lightweight division is on fire. Why not go in there and face Javante if Floyd will allow it? If Bill will allow it? You know what I'm saying? That would be an epic fight, dog. That would be an epic fight. It probably won't happen to the end of 22, early 23. because we really want them to fight twice next year. It's all about who Kambosos is planning on stepping in the ring with, man. I don't believe a lot of what this cat is talking about. Some oddball, right, is gonna come up out of the blue and Kambosos say, you know what? I thought about it. I really have to give this guy a shot. He's earned it. Oh, shut the fuck up, dog. Shut the fuck up. All we want to hear is you fighting Devin Haney. If all of a sudden that goes out the window, that means you had your mouth over the tailpipe all along. You just up here blowing motherfucking smoke, dog. You was blowing smoke to the boxing public as an undisputed champion, and you was gonna do you doing the same shit T.O. did. T.O. said he was gonna face him, and you said you was gonna face him. But the way your team is coming off in the media is irritating the shit. We're gonna see how this weigh-in go. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been a lot of drama yet, unless you're looking at Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz. They had a little back and forth trash talk. I'm pretty sure at the weigh-ins, you know, we're gonna see some talk. You know, it should be a little trash talk for Isak Cruz. Dude is not speaking English, so I don't foresee it being any different than Mario Barrios face off and weigh in. Seriously, I don't see Gervonta Davis shit, unfortunately, being any different than Mario Barrios, bro. You know, all the Mexican fans gonna come together. You know what I'm saying? And because I think Gervonta has more Mexican fans than we think. All the Mexican fans gonna come together for Isak Cruz. You know, Canelo Alvarez is sending him, you know, motivational speech. Just train as hard as you can. And when you think that's hard, you even push through it and train harder. He's really motivating Mexican fighters and showing that he support his Mexican fighters. So it's nothing wrong with what he's doing. It's just when it comes to black fighters, they should be doing the same thing if you that legend and you know if you that big name. You should send those motivational messages out to these fighters on Twitter, on IG. Let them know he got support. Don't be acting like, oh well, I don't want to be showing no bias. Canelo don't give a fuck about that. He's basically showing you who he wants to win. He said, Cruz, train hard, my friend. And when it gets tough, you push through it and train even harder. Sí, amigo. Sí, entiendes. You know, I'm like, Canelo is sending this man the message to go in there and beat Tank, which he should. Canelo is competitive. You know, he should send that shit. So if people shouldn't be getting mad. But the only thing about it with Canelo, he's doing this shit remotely. And he's not going to be in the corner. And he's not going to have any type of physical influence on Cruz winning this fight. What he will do is, when Tank knock Isak Cruz the fuck out, he can basically send him some damn get well cards while he recovering. You know what I'm saying? That's what he can do. He can send him a care package, a fruit basket. You know what I'm saying? Put all those nice sweet kiwi, grapes, oranges, plums. You know what I'm saying? Apples. Give him some grain. You know, sunflower seeds, almonds, cashews, walnuts. Send him all those nutrients and protein so he can heal the fuck up. And his brain is firing on all cylinders, because it's going to be different when he wake up. I'll be highly surprised if Isak Cruz go the distance with Gervonta Davis. Real talk. I'll be surprised, y'all. Serious. I'll be absolutely surprised. With the fighting style that Cruz have, I'll be surprised if he makes it to the final bell with Gervonta. I'm not even going to say what it will do to Gervonta. if he does, because I don't see it happen. I can't sit up here and predict that. All I know is I don't see Cruz staying awake. It's always funny to me. Fighters have a problem staying awake when it comes to damn Gervonta Davis. They're gonna start making the tank rule. No explosive counter shots. That's a new rule. Okay. When the fighter is beating you up on the ropes, you cannot use full power in countering that fighter with your uppercuts. Okay. This is the tank rule. Just like they banned dunking at one point in time. Okay. To appease a certain individual and appease the other teams, rather, so they wouldn't get dominated. They're going to come up with, oh, you can only throw 50% capacity. And the person who's going to deem it at their discretion is the third man in the ring, the referee. They're going to make that shit the tank rule. He keep on knocking out people. What round y'all think Issa Cruz going to sleep in? Jay Dixon say the super Haney supporters won't say anything bad about Kambosos. Let me see. They won't say anything bad about Kambosos because they know Floyd and Tank can come in and take that fight easily. Yeah, that kind of says like what I was talking about. Like we never know what's going on with Floyd Mayweather on how he's moving Tank. They just swoop in. Like Floyd Mayweather himself, how he swooped in on Canelo and Gennady, how he swooped in on Tio and Kambosos. You never know what the fuck he has planned. And that's the genius part of how he moved as a fighter. Floyd Mayweather always move. He really don't move in silence. He will put some shit out there for you to say, is that really happening? Has anybody seen anything else on that? We check Twitter. Floyd say, man, Floyd would show you subliminal shit of him hitting the bag. I said, what Floyd training for? Anything out here yet? What he's training for? Why he was out running at 3:00 in the morning. That's Floyd Mayweather, dog. You never know what the fuck is going on. You can only assume, and then when you take it for granted, then the promo come out. Gervonta will face George Kambosos for the lightweight undisputed, and then people's like, hell no, like what are we talking about? I thought that was gonna be Haney. That's how Floyd moves, dog. You would think Hearn and Bill would be very vocal about what Suleiman said, but they quiet. It's suspect to me. I know somebody, I know the energy that was coming from the live chat yesterday. There's a group of individuals that's asking the question, like they saying, why is Bill not doing enough? You know, out here in the media, why is he not speaking up about what Suleiman is out here doing? You know what I'm saying? Why is he allowing him to spread a message? Once again, that Kambosos is the undisputed. And that leaves Devin with minimal value in the lightweight division as the last remaining champion. Devin Haney is the last man standing for Kambosos. So therefore, you know, people are asking themselves, like, what's going on here? I don't know, to be honest. I'm gonna be frank with you. I don't fucking know. I don't know why. I'm not in a position to ask Bill why. You know what I'm saying? It's something I couldn't tell you, dog. It must be like just as they say they was independent. They still with Eddie Hearn though. They have the WBC title, but I have to kind of make an assumption as a black man myself, and in Devin Haney's position, Bill's position. I don't know, man. They might just be being careful with what they're talking about because they know what may happen. They know the repercussions or whatever the case may be. I find out that, the fact that he identified Kambosos as a undisputed champion is repercussions. Why did this all of a sudden come about, especially at the holidays? Like, I don't think you ever gave Tiafimo that recognition, but I guess a pure Mexican, I can't use that, because the WBC's over. I can't use the pure Mexican deal because he supports Mexico hard. I can't do that for Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm trying to come up with shit. I'm trying to come up with details. The pure Mexican. I can't use that on Kambosos. So how is he supporting Australia? It might be, I don't know, man. It's extremely strange. Why Bill Haney them not coming out with the backlash and furies? I know I've heard him. I have heard Bill speak up on it. You know what I'm saying? I know good and damn well he ain't happy about that damn recognition of the undisputed. I heard the shit. I did hear him speak on it, but not to a point where he's saying, "Hey, listen, what the fuck is this tweet about? I thought we've been going through this past several weeks. Why would you put that tweet out to the fans and have them damn latch on to that? Why would you do that? If you think for 1 minute him and Devin ain't behind the scene and they feeling some type of way about them saying Kambosos is undisputed, you mistaken. I'm pretty sure they had them one-on-one talks. I'm pretty sure the conversation in the gym, they're damn, and they just recognize, man, just give us opportunity. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I hope the opportunity presents itself so we can clear all this shit up. I think Team Haney is just playing nice for to be safe, so to speak, bro. Because they have to be extremely frustrated. To hold the WBC world title and not get any type of respect from those who are basically running the show, the shakers and movers. Yeah, man, it's frustrating, dog. It's irritating. I ain't gonna lie. Like, the fans can only help so much. But mark my word, y'all. From today, I give it from today to Tuesday. From today to Tuesday. Let's see what the media is like with this. Because this is something I've been leaving out in purpose because I really don't like bringing his name into it, because he gets entitlements ever since he was able to fight for a championship on his second professional fight, right? And that's Lomachenko. It's a lot of bullshit that's out there in wake, and that's Lomachenko. Lomachenko has a fight coming up next week. Devin's fighting this week. You know what I'm saying? Gervonta's fighting this week. It's a lot of bullshit that's waiting out there. That, I've been talking strictly about Devin Haney and Gervonta, but I really don't want to bring Lomachenko into the equation, because that's another person who comes in at the spare of the moment, is able to get the entitlement. You might find Kambosos fighting Lomachenko. You know why? Because they're going to say Lomachenko still has a name. They still have Lomachenko on the ring pound for pound list, and he don't have no titles. And they haven't yet to change Tiafimo. They're trying to figure this out. She, we here on deck. What's good with you? You would think Hearn and Bill would be very vocal. Hold on for a second. Let me get to some articles that I had sitting out here about this fight. Um, also wanted to touch on um the shift of the lightweight division as far as the pound for pound goes, right? So, you know how I always mention how Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, they both in the welterweight division on the pound for pound list until the lightweight division. Once again, Teofimo was able to upset Vasil Lomachenko, and both of those guys was on the pound for pound list. All right. So now the lightweight division has a lot of potential for the pound for pound list. A lot. A lot. But we know Kambosos don't rate to be on the pound for pound list, but yet he has the titles. Okay. And I'm not trying to bring drama to y'all and make it all about discrimination and prejudice and all this shit, right? But as much as I don't like the Charlos, Jamel Charlo has been unified champion for quite some time, and he earned a draw against Brian Castano. But he's been unified champion. No answer, no indication he would be on the pound for pound list. All right? No indication. Nothing. The lightweight division, per se, has Gervonta Davis, who is a three-weight champion. So how is it any way possible for Gervonta Davis? Who can he fight in the lightweight division to make it on the pound for pound list? That's a huge dilemma that's also pending with these upcoming fights. He's definitely not going to gain any more ground knocking out Isak Cruz. All right. Kambosos should not be placed on there like Teofimo Lopez was, because Teofimo's like 6 on the ring pound for pound. So Kambosos shouldn't be on the pound for pound just because he did what Teofimo was able to do with Lomachenko. Lomachenko was up at top 2, but you have to look at Teofimo. He beat Richard Comey and he beat Masayoshi Nakatani. Then it comes down to Devin Haney. Devin Haney goes in here and defeat Kambosos. Is his resume strong enough? Is the respect higher? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to gain any more respect from those individuals to put him on the pound for pound list? That's a big question. With anybody, like, we're talking about titles in the lightweight division, but are we really talking about the changing of the guard with replacement of the pound for pound list? Because Lomachenko is still on the ring pound for pound, but he doesn't have any fucking titles. None. He's about to step in there with Richard Comey, who doesn't have a title, but he did when he fought Teofimo Lopez. So that's something y'all should think about too. Like, how does this all play out in 22? How does it play out when they sort this and they settle down a little bit and they say, hey, this is who we putting on the damn pound for pound list actively right here from the previous fights we experienced? Does Devin Haney make it to the pound for pound list off Jojo Diaz? I doubt it. Gervonta Davis? I doubt it. Kambosos? I'm curious. I'm very curious if they're going to throw his ass on the damn pound for pound list with the franchise title. Will Stephen Fulton be considered on the pound for pound list? I seriously doubt it. Who else is next? Canelo's already up there. Alexander Usyk is already up there. And that's just wild, because they're taking previous, when it comes to Usyk being unified at cruiserweight and heavyweight, I can see where they can bleed that shit over and put him at number 2 and all this other shit. I can see. Because credentials matter, goddammit. Let me get to this article. I'm not going to go on a tangent about credentials because Usyk proves that credentials matter. Crawford proves that credentials matter. So, let me get to this article. Davis will be on PPV. For those of you that's not understanding that Gervonta Davis is fighting on PPV every fight. Ain't shit free anymore for Gervonta. That's always going to separate him from everybody else. He's fighting on PPV. They ain't. Okay. Um, it goes on to say this is at CBS Boxing. It said Davis returning to PPV on Sunday was originally slated to be against hard-hitting Rolando Romero in a matchup that promised no shortage of trash talking and bizarre moments thanks to Rolly Romero, but not necessarily a fight that's hardcore fight fans expected would be competitive at all. Absolutely, Rolly would have been competitive with Tank Davis until he got knocked out. A 23-year-old Cruz, who aptly goes by the nickname Pitbull, is expected to put pressure on the talented Davis in ways the Raw Romero simply isn't equipped to pull off. Make no mistake, Cruz enters a sizable betting underdog, but he's skilled and aggressive enough to force Davis to have to dig in and fight. Look, I understand the writers and shit. You want to put some content out there and stuff to pique the interest of the reader. I get it. Because we live in a damn era of skimmers. You know, people skim through articles. They have to be short, get straight to the point sometimes. But for this person to say, force Davis to have to dig in and fight. Listen, there's a lot of people he had to dig in and fight. Okay? You start off and the soil is pretty soft. You know what I'm saying? It's soft only, you know, because you haven't really started to get to the underlayer of that topsoil. A lot of people don't know what that underlayer means when it comes to Gervonta Davis, because they spend so much time trying to dig, they got cracked in the head with a shovel. I'm serious, bro. This how shit works with Tank. You're busy trying to dig and put him in a hole, and then you get cracked in the head with a shovel. Clack! Shit, dog. What the fuck? Hey, dude. God damn. What the fuck happened? He knocked me the fuck out. I never saw the shot, dog. I was focusing on digging the hole. I would have never fucking dug the hole if I was going to get cracked in the head with a shovel. Well, listen. Hey, don't talk no more, man. The cameras are still rolling. Dude, you didn't get cracked in the head with a shovel. It's just Gervonta hit you with a motherfucking uppercut. That was an uppercut? It wasn't a shovel from Lowe's? For real? I'm telling you, dog, he hit you with an uppercut. Hey, I was over here cheering you on. I was jumping up and down and shit, and you was goddamn banging it out with him. And then all of a sudden, it was Leo Santa Cruz all over it. What? You know what I say? I seen Leo up there. I seen him. We was talking. He said, hey, and don't worry about it. You'll be better from this. You'll be better. Once you wake up, you'll be a better person. You'll know that you fucked up, and don't fuck up again when you step in there if you get a second opportunity with Tank. Tank gonna send these boys to the upper room, goddammit, because they trying to dig a hole and shit. He said, man, did the referee deduct a point for him hitting me with a foreign object? Hey, I told you, Cruz, chill, dog. I know you still, dizzy and shit and seeing light bulbs in your head. I get it. But he hit you with an uppercut, dog. There's no way, man. Let me see the tape. Let me see the replay, dog. That shit hurt. It hurt when I tell you. Shit, man. Let me go on. It say Davis moved up to 140 pounds for the first time to stop unbeaten Mario Barrios in round 11 of their action thriller. If you take a gander at most major publications pound for pound list, the 27-year-old Davis is typically on the outside looking in. That's true. That's facts. Sometimes in the pound for pound voting, the eye test can be just as important as who a fighter has faced and what he has accomplished. And unless your name is Vasil Lomachenko. In Davis' case, he has shown over the past year just how evolved his craft has become, from his defense and head movement to his ability to box. Will a victory over Cruz prove to be Davis' breakthrough moment in eliciting universal respect for just how skilled he really is in ways that his gaudy knockout percentage doesn't always explain. Only time will tell. And I like this article because they're telling some true facts. They speaking some true facts. Gervonta Davis is always on the outside looking in when it comes to the pound for pound. And it's going to continue to be like that unless he fight names that, are at the top of the food chain in his division. We really don't know what his division is right now because he's fought at 30, 35, and 40. You know what I'm saying? At lightweight division, people was hoping and dreaming that after Gamboa, we would see him fight a big name. That big name potentially could have been Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia was diagnosed with capitis. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia was diagnosed with capitis. So there's no way he could step in the ring with Ryan Garcia. So he got Rolly Romero out of nowhere. That's an in-house fighter. And then they changed him up. And then, he's in there with Isaac Cruz. But at the end of the day, in order for him to even come close to the pound for pound, it's going to take more than him knocking out familiar names than him stepping in the ring with the top tier names in the ranking system. How concerned should we be with the ending of Devin Haney's last fight? So they mentioned Devin Haney step-up challenge against former champion Jorge Linares in May offered critics just as much a showcase of his all-around talent as he did a few hold-your-breath moments in the championship rounds. Haney, who criticized for more passively he boxed in whitewashing of Yurkis Gamboa in 2020, looked to make a statement late by pushing the pace against Linares, which is, look, this is true. This is good shit from this writer. The veteran sharpshooter rocked him with a clean shot, and Haney was forced to spend the final 2 rounds clinching for survival. Was this merely a hiccup in an overall strong performance from the younger boxer puncher, or a bit of a harbinger to the potential doom that might come his way once Haney finally draws the likes of elite like Davis, Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Vasil Lomachenko? Now notice they said, but it a bit of a harbinger to potential doom that might come his way once Haney finally draws the likes of elites like Davis, Lopez, Garcia, Lomachenko. Now, first of all, I was complimenting your article, but why in the fuck are they putting Ryan Garcia up as elite? Why, dog? They go on to say, it's still too early to tell. Expect aggressive Diaz to look to try and find that answer early in what should be a fun shootout. He said this should be a fun shootout. Overall, the paragraph has its pluses, all right? But what I don't understand is you really didn't go into detail on how Devin truly put on a clinic the first 10 rounds. The first 9 heading into the 10. He was on the clinic. You didn't highlight that, but yet you're talking about doom versus fighters that not all that you mentioned are elite fighters. Okay, you can look up the Vasil Lomachenko, right? And you can look at Lopez and Davis. The only reason I'm saying that is Davis is a 3-weight champion. Lomachenko is a 3-weight champion. Lopez was a former undisputed lightweight champion. So you can take it how you may. I'm not going to go through the Ryan Garcia being in the sweepstakes. I already mentioned that. Ryan Garcia has capitis. And you know what? I really don't want to talk to the fans this morning as if Ryan Garcia sending a post talking about he's the next to fight Kambosos that I even want to pay it any mind. Because he's let us down so many times talking his shit. This what also I like about this article. It goes on to say, the landscape of the lightweight division remains intriguing in the wake of Kambosos' stunning upset of Lopez this past Saturday in New York City. However, the texture of the map has changed significantly. I like the way this writer lays down his words. Get straight to the point. After the fight, Lopez, along with his father and trainer Teofimo Lopez Sr., launched into a conspiratorial talk, suggesting he had deserved the win, but had been cheated by a system that had been working against him. Setting aside the absurdity that the boxing powers that be want a young, charismatic, heavy-handed American star to lose to an Australian with little name value, the biggest takeaway for the future was that Lopez and his father said the plan was now to move up to 140. It's a sensible decision, that one that was likely coming, win or lose, because Lopez has struggled to keep his weight down as he continued to grow into a man. That's true. That's facts, man. They've been struggling with weight ever since I covered them for the Kambosos. I mean, not the Kambosos, Diego Magdaleno. He was struggling to make weight. It's been a minute. He's been in this division for 8 years. Kambosos hold much of the power now, as the man with the belts usually does. I'm not going to read through all of that. First, however, could be a fight in Australia against an opponent of appropriate ranking in either the WBA, WBO, or IBF. You hear that? First, however, could be a fight in Australia against an opponent of appropriate ranking in either the WBA, WBO, and IBF. The December 29th fight between Shushishira Yoshino and Masayuki Ito for a minor WBO title is one to keep an eye on for potential product of Kambosos' first challenger. See what I'm talking about? And y'all think I just be making this shit up? You see what I'm talking about? Where did they get that information from? They just assuming? Didn't I just not tell you that they're gonna come out? Kambosos may come out with something that doesn't even fit the Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis rule of thumb. Haney and Davis are both set to take steps in their careers. Okay, I'm not going through that. They say Haney is undeniable talent fighter, but one who has struggled to land big name opponents. Even as the division has been filled with them, a win over Diaz positions Haney for a potential 4-belt unification fight with Kambosos, the exact kind of mega fight in which Haney has insisted he would thrive. Of course, boxing has been nothing if not filled with upsets as of late, and Haney was badly rocked by Jorge Linares in their May clash. A Diaz win would take down another name in the division while setting up a previous unfathomable possibility of Diaz versus Kambosos with 4 world titles on the line. Now you're reaching with motherfucking fantastic forearms, goddammit. The last shit you talking about, we watching Fantastic Four right now. Diaz fighting Kambosos. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it lacks possibility, if that makes any sense. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it really lacks 100% possibility. JoJo is tough, for real. He gonna make that shit dirty. I'm pretty sure they with Ben Davison and all that shit. People praise Ben Davison for Tyson Fury and shit like that. Okay, you got to understand that Ben Davison is one of the trainers of Devin Haney now. So of course the hardcore fight fans have been paying attention to his fights. We're curious to see how he goes in here and displays what he's learned from Ben Davison. His dad Bill is still in his corner, but I'm saying I'm curious to see this in a fight versus JoJo Diaz, his second fight in the lightweight division. I'm curious to see it. Obviously, Haney has more experience in the division, but I'm very, very curious to see if there's anything different coming from Ben Davison. I want to move away from the lightweight division and talk about. Let me take down this thumbnail right quick. They put out an article in which Bob Arum is who he is, but they put out an article and it goes a little something like this. Hit it. They say Terrence Crawford is one of the best fighters in the sport today, right? But they say Bob Arum maintains that he lost money on all of the former 3-division world championship Crawford fights, and he feels he's not a PPV draw. Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter equal not worthy of PPV. Crawford 38-0, 29 knockouts, is now a promotional free agent following his 10th round knockout win over Sean Porter last month on November 20th. There are reports that Crawford versus Porter final fight brought in between 130 to 190,000 buys, which would be disappointing numbers if true. There are almost no talk of Crawford-Porter fight in the week of the match, and that indicated that the boxing public wasn't excited about the matchup. You can't blame that on Crawford or Top Rank. Once again, you can't blame that on Crawford or Top Rank. Porter brought very little to the table. Once again, as I was saying, Porter brought very little to the table. Given that he'd been out of the ring for well over a year and had fought only once against that little-known Sebastian Formella in the last 2 years since losing to Errol Spence in September 2019. You can't argue that even if Spence, who is a PPV attraction, had picked Porter out as his opponent, he would have brought in many buys. That's absolutely factual. You know what I'm saying? Super duper factual, dog. Arum goes on to say Terrence Crawford is clearly one of the best fighters in the world today, and he's tremendously skilled, said Arum. Unfortunately, he hasn't been shown to be a fighter that is a draw on PPV for whatever reason. For whatever reason is underlined. For whatever reason. So we put him in the best fights that we can, and unfortunately, we've lost money on every fight. Crawford keeps insisting and understand his point of view. I'm the best. I should get paid like the best. He should. So if someone is willing to come and put up with the money Crawford is demanding, he should do a fight with another promoter if he's going to make more money. We're really at the limit of what we can pay him. Maybe somebody will pay him more and would be able to make a profit. And obviously it's a business, and so be it, said Arum. Arum claims that he has no problem with Crawford going elsewhere. I never had an adverse reaction to a fighter that's what? He said, I never had an adverse reaction to a fighter that is contractually a free agent, which Terrence Crawford is, and looks for a better opportunity and more money to fight for another promotional company, said Arum. That's fine. That's totally legitimate. That's business, and it happens in all sports. If you're a free agent, you're a free agent. Yeah, it sounds good, you know, on the here right here, but we all know Bob Arum has absolutely had situations where he was disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't happy. But y'all stay tuned, man. The weigh-ins are going to be coming up. You know what I'm saying? The weigh-ins are going to be coming up. And also, we have weigh-ins from Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz, and also weigh-ins from Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz. And, of course, whoever fighting on the undercard and so forth. Also, we have a big fight coming up next week. Michael Williams Jr., December 11th, on the undercard of Vasily Lomachenko and Richard Comey. It's going to be a lot of media. If you check today, there's going to be media in their hometown of Charlotte. Roy Jones is already on deck over there. So the beautiful part about this is this fight between Michael Williams Jr. and John Bowser wasn't really promoted heavy by Top Rank. And I get it, whatever. Ever how they do business, it wasn't promoted hardly at all because you do have Fasil Lomachenko and Richard Comey. But when it's not coming from one side, you have to turn your cheek and pull it in from the other. There's always options. And they're having promotion and have their hometown people and everybody from the outside looking in. They're doing a media day. I mean, I'm talking about that's good shit to have a media day outside of the promotion that you fighting on. So if you have the opportunity, the media day is popping off at 6:00 p.m. today, and it'll probably be on their Facebook page, and it's going to be on IG. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be sure to check that out, man. Shout out to Team Williams doing the damn thing. Michael Williams Sr., Roy Jones, and the entire team that's over there. They have a media day. Like I said, tune in. Support the fight. It's a big fight for both John Bowser and Michael Williams. They both undefeated fighters, and this fight will be contended at the junior welterweight division. All right? It's be continued at the junior welterweight division. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. It's all what it is. It's gonna be a fun week next week with covering this fight, and continue to tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.